Good afternoon, gentlemen. It is your boy Sirius. Welcome to today's live stream. I know I said that I was going to do the stream early this morning, but unfortunately, things came up, and as a responsible adult, I had to get the shit done. That takes priority. But now I have enough time to preach about the craziness that's going on in society today, and this Eliza Blue chick. We're gonna be going over the video that Hammerhand put up because the audacity that they're so comfortable talking about this, it's getting bad. That's why the title of the stream is normalization. Okay, they're really trying to normalize very atrocious, disgusting, evil things. And I got the Gray Ghost with me. We are both gonna be going over various situations that they're trying to normalize. That is how you say not good for society as a whole. These type of things are that they're trying to normalize is eventually going to end society as we know it. So before we begin, let me go ahead and see who's up in here. Revan, what's going on? Sai. Tomas was good. Old Man Odin. Griffith was good. Mass Vigilante. What's going on, man? IY fan, welcome back, like the usual. Uh Chris. I'm pretty sure it says Chris. What's going on, dude? Yeet. Just some random guy. What's good? Skeleton lives do matter. Sons and Patriarchy. What's up, man? Side character, of course. Welcome back. Monkey King. Alan Francis. What's up? Do. Black Red Pill 3. What's up? What's going on? All right. So, well, Black Pill says, can we just say they are trying to normalize evil and demonize good? Yeah, that's pretty much the overall premises of this live stream today, but we will definitely we gotta get into the details because holy moly, the how you say degradation of society, the decaying of society is on a rapid pace within the last 10 years. But before we begin, I'm just going to be chilling in the beginning so I don't like interrupt. If you want to support your boy Sirius, there's a link on top of the chat, Cash App / Sirius. Any donation is appreciated if you feel I am worthy of your investment. Thank you very much. All right, I'm going to invite the one, the only Gray Ghost. What's going on, Gray Ghost?
Hey, good evening. I'm almost done this one set of minis here, so if you hear a little snipping and filing in the background, that's me.
It's all good. I'm sure you had a busy day as well, huh?
Oh, yeah. I've prepping quite a few things, mostly fighting off the cold. It is like sub-Arctic temperatures outside right now. It's the worst cold snap all year.
Yeah, I turned off my heater for a little bit, and then it got cold very quickly. I was like, nah, fuck that. I turned that shit all the way back up. I'm like, damn. And I looked at it. I looked at the weather. It's at least where I'm at, -5.
That's Fahrenheit, right?
Fahrenheit, yes. Fahrenheit. So definitely not as bad as yours, but it's pretty bad.
Let me take a look and see what mine is in Fahrenheit.
Yeah, how cold is it? So embrace the cold.
Well, right now it's like 13 Fahrenheit, like positively warm, but it's had a low of -36.
And it's mainly the wind chill or the actual like weather.
Well, that's just the base temperature. That's not counting wind chill.
Yeah, fuck that. Yeah, I'm staying my ass inside if it got to that point. Um, okay. So, pretty much, we're going to begin with this: the Eliza Blue situation. Oh, update. Ever since Eliza Blue got called out from her atrocities, Tim Pool also was doing a little sweep, trying to put it on the rug. He blocked the quartering on all platforms. That's I'm like, what? Just because? See, okay. So here's my issue. Let me bring her up right quick. Here's my issue. Do. Shout out to Hammerhand. So she proclaimed herself as anti SJW, right? Like she was batting for the conservative side.
I guess the amount I have barely paid any attention to her at all.
Yeah, me too. But I think that's why they were calling her a grifter.
Well, she's
But
definitely like advocating more for it because if you're aligning yourself with Tim Pool, as far as the left is concerned, you're basically right wing.
but I'm like, so you guys couldn't see through her lies. She appeared on Tim Pool's podcast like she came straight out of the Hunger Games. Like, look at the hair. Look at all that 10 pounds of makeup. You honestly believe that she was anti SJW? Are you stupid or are you dumb? Actions speak louder than words. Like, look,
If actions spoke louder than words, then Tim Pool wouldn't have anything, wouldn't have any content because that's all he is.
yeah, it has to be just he didn't do his due diligence and done his research about Eliza, or he was being a straight up simp, or both.
Both. I'm willing to bet. It's entirely possible that she took him into the back and blew him. Who knows?
Ain't no way in hell, first glance, I will ever say that this woman right here, if I saw her in public, say, "Oh yeah, she's anti SJW. Yeah, she has conservative ideals." Bullshit. Bull. And turns out, and I'm just explaining just a little bit of the background. I don't know the entire thing, just simplified. She lied about being a victim on multiple occasions, and she got how you say exposed. Talking about, oh, I was sex trafficked. Oh, I was a victim. Oh, woe me. Turns out everything that she was doing was voluntary. So when that was found out, this is when things got crazy, right? She was taking advantage of the fact that she was goody goody with Elon Musk and was trying to manipulate the system on Twitter and YouTube to copy strike anybody that uses her footage. That's when everybody got pissed off. But this is when things got way out of control. This is when Tim Pool blocked the quartering. This is when Elon Musk started distance away from Eliza, but she got caught talking about this. This was dug up. So we will definitely get into the video right now. And once again, brace yourself, guys, because this is definitely a touchy subject. Let's go ahead and do this. Shout out to Hammerhand.
So I think that the community and the child, if the child so desires to have intercourse with an adult, the parents, caregivers, and anyone that's, I mean, it's just what I just said.
This one's supposed to be the paragon, the protector of children. This whole thing is like a maps lecture at Berkeley. Help me out.
That
He ain't wrong. Let's go ahead and continue.
Would be up to if the child has desire and if the community also decides that the person that they're supposed to have intercourse with is not using force, fraud, coercion, manipulation. You know what? The 12-year-old, 13-year-old, 14-year-old probably doesn't have the cognitive ability to have.
No, they don't. We just raised smoking, ownership of a firearm, which is a constitutionally protected thing to have, to 21. What in the hell are these people talking about?
This 40-year-old, and maybe we need to further educate this child on ramifications.
Sorry. Let me get this straight. A 13-year-old wanting to have relations with an adult, that's okay. But a 23-year-old wanting to have relationships with a man 10 years older than her, that's not okay.
Yep. According to society these days, yeah.
All right, cool. We're on the same page. Keep going.
Insane, man.
Educate a 12-year-old. 25-year-olds are like 15-year-olds 30 years ago. You're going to educate a 12-year-old about doing it with a 40-year-old. Got it.
Creation of what it looks like to have a child, right? Because as soon as you menstruate, you can have a child. You know, and
this one's not smart. I don't know how she.
Thank you. I was thinking the exact same thing, man.
You can kind of tell because she's speaking really quickly and not elaborating on any of the points.
And look at her eyes. Jesus.
Yeah, scary bitch. But well, that's the thing. Like, if people are trying to like fast talk and get from point to point, they're trying to make sure that you don't think too hard about what they're saying.
That is true. I've dealt with a lot of people like that. They don't let you pick apart their claims. But let's go ahead and continue. It's creepy fucking predator bitch.
She's got this platform. I understand it's been a big Twitter to do. She got people. If you're looking at, I was doing research right on her rap videos, which she got paid for. If you link to it, you got kicked off of Twitter and Elon and all these moving parts. According did a big thing about it. I'm just trying to get my arms around the statements here. They're shocking.
Lead to more conversations. And do I feel that some minors are more equipped to engage in sexual activity with adults than others? Yes, but we always look at the most. So when
you know what I can get from.
No.
Well, equipped, because if we're looking at physically equipped, remember what Chronic said about epigenetics. The daughters in single mother households, when there's no man in the family, they biologically mature faster.
Yeah. I'm not saying he's wrong with that. I'm saying cognitively, no.
Oh yeah, cognitively, fuck no. But like, we got to get into the specifics here. If we're talking purely biologically, then yes, there are some children more equipped for that activity than others. But that's only on the physical level. That doesn't mean that they're intellectually capable. It just means that they're capable of that they are physically capable of breeding faster, which might be useful if you have a population problem and you need to pump them out as fast and as young as you can, but that's not really the issue in question here.
In 2023, I'm just bringing out the wood chipper. That's it. Let's go ahead and continue.
From listening to her talk, she doesn't have any children. She's never had children, never raised children. This is the most asinine shit I've ever heard. And somehow or the other, she's propped up, like thought of like she's helping. And I didn't take this out of context. I'll link to the full podcast. You can take a gander, start about minute 53.
We set those numbers, right? We set them for life expectancy. So life expectancy has changed. Also, in different
Yeah, this one's not smart. She needs to stop trying to sound intellectual. She sounds stupid. I'm going to say it.
countries, different children have different things expected upon them. So children can be expected to clean, work, and maybe not even getting educated because they're expected to raise their siblings.
But they're not emotionally mature. That's
agreed. Of course, biology is biology. But once again, she's not trying to apply the other factors. Okay, that's why.
She doesn't have a coherent argument. She's saying kids might have to do the work of adults, ergo we should treat them like they're fully mature adults.
Right.
But she can't allow herself to say it so simply, because then her argument would fall apart to a casual observer. So she's spewing out a whole bunch of nonsensical points. The very fact that we'd have to stop this every couple seconds, like just to address her point by point, this is proof of what she's doing. She spews out so many points in a minute that it takes a good half hour to deal with them one at a time. And that's why these people talk super fucking fast and shove out a whole bunch of information. Because in the span of a normal conversation, someone who isn't pausing to think it over, they're not processing each individual thing. They're just hearing a whole bunch of bullshit that comes off as background noise, and eventually they're like, oh, well, it sounded smart, so it must be true.
My thing is she grifting at this moment? And she's just saying things just to be part of the crowd and, try to, get some clout and get an audience? Or does she believe what she's saying, or is it both?
What audience would she be getting with these kinds of discussions?
Well, usually discussing
she's advocating
I don't want to generalize.
She's advocating for relations with minors.
Well, I'm just saying I don't want to generalize, but I will say people that participate in the alphabet community / liberals. I'm not saying there isn't any with the conservatives, but the liberals are way more bold.
But if you're grifting, then you're trying to appeal to a certain demographic.
Yeah, alphabet community / liberals.
Yeah, like the only people even remotely approaching the like manosphere right-wing aspect would be some of the black players. I think, like, what the fuck was his name, like Hormax or whatever.
Yeah,
like that would be the only people I could think of. Like, so is she grifting? I don't think she's grifting, because this is the kind of stuff that it's not safe to say this.
Right.
Like, so no, I don't think that she's grifting. I think that this is her trying to justify her desires.
Let me IYFN, he just said she has mastered the art of pretending to say something intelligent to grift, the right into accepting. Yeah.
Okay, but here's the thing: like, is this like the context for her saying this? This isn't her on Tim Pool. This is her own private podcast. This isn't her grifting in that sense to the right. I'm willing to bet this is more so her trying to normalize her own desires. Because guess what? She's a woman in her like late 30s, early 40s at this point. She'd be an elementary school teacher, if you know what I'm saying.
Pretty much. And I think she's on call with a couple more people. I think 2 other dudes. But yeah, it's only going to get worse from here, gentlemen. So let's go ahead and continue. Brace yourselves.
It's the problem here. You get a young girl who's 12. She can clean the house, but she shouldn't be doing it with a 40-year-old.
Because their parents are working in fields. So when we're comparing to other countries, we have to put that all into the play. Does that make sense?
Why are we comparing to any other country? Let's talk about the United States of America. We've got grown children that are 25 years old playing adult. She's talking about 12. I mean, I don't even get it. They can't even barely do their chores. Turn off the game console on time when they're told.
I'm expected to live as neighbors with folks that might marry at 12.
Yeah.
And then we have to, and so the way that works is you decide whether or not your neighbor. So eventually, if you decide, okay, this community over here is on some heavy exploitation of children, then as a community, as the neighbor, you would take over that community.
This sounds great. So
what? No. No.
What argument is she making? Like, if your neighbor is if your neighbor's into underage kids, then you should find it acceptable.
I think that's what she's trying to. Yeah, that's what I think she's trying to say.
Like what she's saying, like, those the diverse, like the stunning and brave diverse people in the UK who go for the underage locals? Are you saying that because they do it, then it should be acceptable in other countries?
Yeah, I think that's what she's trying to compare. Which is crazy. It's crazy
Yeah.
because
You know what? Let's adopt the cultures that the people who fled, these people apparently left a shithole to come over here. So let's adopt the cultures of the shithole instead of making those people adopt the culture of the paradise that they fled to. Yeah, that makes perfect fucking sense.
similar to Californians moving to Texas and then voting in Democratic officials. Yeah, let's continue because once again, like I see what you're saying, like because her argument goes like zigzag. I'm like it's very difficult to pinpoint what she's saying.
Just random rogue communities. Let's say the community has more power and says, okay, I like 10. The community's like, no, 12 is okay with me. So it's like rogue communities of power deciding what goes on here. I don't know how this is better at all.
And that's
okay.
because I think when we look in history, right? So when we look at life expectancy, like before, I
She's so
probably would have already
stupid.
been dead. I mean, I'm a 40-year-old woman, so I probably would have already been dead at many points in history.
Yeah, you could have already been dead before. Any of us could. I don't know how.
It doesn't matter what happened in the past when it comes to age, when it comes to shit changes over time. Yeah, sure. Let's focus on what's going on in 2023 in our society. Why you trying to compare and contrast societies from thousands of years ago, or let's say
but
a little over 100 years ago?
Okay, but here's where I take her very same argument and throw it around. It's like, okay, life expectancy is longer now, so shouldn't it be more acceptable to raise the age of consent rather than lower it?
Agreed. Your argument makes way more sense than what she's saying right now.
Like, if life expectancy was 30, yeah, then I could understand lowering it so that you get more than a fucking decade to raise your kids before you kick the bucket. Like, I could kind of see it then. But life expectancy is approaching triple digits. Average for women is 85. It's not unusual to have a great grandparent these days.
Yeah, isn't for men is like 79 or something like that?
Yeah, it's like low 80s for men, like mid 80s for women. So, but that's the thing. Like, if you're going to argue that, oh, well, because life expectancy has changed, then age of consent should change. Like, yeah, well, life expectancy got longer. So wouldn't it make more sense to have age of consent be longer, not smaller?
Agreed. Like hell, a couple years ago, they raised the age to buy cigarettes to 21, 18 to 21. It's like, hey, no 18-year-olds no more. You have to be 21 to smoke now.
Yeah, it's been 19 in Canada for ages, and that's the thing. I wouldn't mind raising the fucking age of cigarettes. Like, guess what? Like, I don't want anyone smoking cigarettes. I've smoked them myself. I've seen what they do, felt what they do. I see fucking cigarette addicts all fucking days. Like, yeah, no, this ain't fucking desirable at all. These people are just taking and fucking drugs in order to not have to deal with the actual shit in their life that's stressing them out.
So, what do you think about her argument up to now? And before you say something, I'll be right back. I'm drinking a lot of water. I gotta go piss.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, her argument, if she even has something resembling a coherent point, is that kids mature at different rates, therefore a standardized age should not be applied to people wholesale. Instead, it should be a more local decision. Now, but that's actually kind of interesting because in a roundabout way, that's advocating for states' rights. And because that's the thing. Like she says the community, but what dictates the boundaries of the community?
So fucking crazy, bro. Her
Yeah, so
argument is, man.
and that's the thing. Like, now that I'm breaking it down, it's interesting because she's essentially arguing that the local community should determine the age of consent rather than a central authority. But what
Which,
exactly qualifies as the local community? Because in a
right,
sense, there's precedent for this in the US with states versus like the feds.
agreed. So,
So that's the thing. So, but what again? She's being vague with this. What's the size of the community that she's determining? Because if it's just like 5 square city blocks or whatever, or like your particular housing complex, like where are the boundaries of the community?
exactly. And will the majority, the majority of people in society will even accept that shit? Which will be no.
Well, but here's the thing: it doesn't matter whether or not society accepts it, because this is where the breakdown happens. The community can only hold onto a law so long as there is power to enforce it. Like if there
Yeah,
wasn't statewide police separate from federal police, then there would be no states' laws. Like you would have no community laws if you didn't have a local police and a local sheriff. The community is the size of the enforcer. So it sounds like for her community, it's basically one that isn't regulated by like the local township or the local state or the feds, which is basically anarchy. It's like whoever holds the biggest stick in the community enforces the laws. Because say, all right, well, our community says it's 12. All right, well, I just did it with a 10-year-old. You need to be punished. By whom? I've got a shit ton of guns. Who are you gonna stop? How are you gonna stop me?
yeah, I completely agree with you. That's why I said, when it comes to, let's say, this little community, right, 5 city blocks big within the state of, or the city of Houston, Texas,
Yeah.
and the people get wind of what's going on in this little tiny community, it will be dismantled one way or another. If that majority, if the rest of society, right, just like, nah, what the fuck are they doing?
No,
It'll
that's
be
the thing.
dismantled.
They won't do it if that micro community is protected by the state or the feds.
Agreed.
Like that's the problem, because the violence group is not only what enforces the laws within, but they also defend the group from outside influence.
Well, thank God there's laws against this situation, because man, that'd be fucking insane.
So that's the thing. Like we see these low, because this stuff happens. It happens, and then there's always a bunch of people who know about it, and they keep it fucking hush hush. And what prevents people from creating strange fruit trees is the feds. The crimes of these people are protected by the very people who should, by all rights, be persecuting.
Agreed. And the only reason why this shit is how you say they're not really being protected per se is because what she's talking about right now is against the law.
It's against the law on paper, but
Yeah.
given that she is still walking free rather than being investigated and having her fucking computer records searched through, I say that's protection. Because I guarantee you, if you or I showed our name and face and started spouting off the same shit that she was spouting off, we'd have the feds at our doors right now, and at the very least, we wouldn't be allowed anywhere near a public school.
True. Like just within the hour. I agree with that. I agree. I see what you're saying. I agree.
Yeah.
Even though it was on paper, actions say otherwise.
Like on paper, it's illegal, but if it's not enforced, then the law means nothing.
I agree. let's go ahead and continue because wow, this bitch. I'm sorry. I'm confused, but also very disgusted by her.
It's my favorite. It's my favorite novel. It's my favorite novel. The Lion, the Witch, the audacity of this bitch.
I'm telling you, man. That middle age. She's 41 years old. I think that's what Hammerhead said. She's 41.
Yeah, she said she's 40 in this, so it might be a couple months to a year ago that she made this recording.
Yeah, disgusting bitch. All right, let's continue.
Again, this person's a platform, and she was canceling people off of Twitter. I don't get any of this. I understood she had some terrible things happen in her past. That's what she said. That doesn't make an expert on it. I mean, I'm so lost here.
Had to have had children earlier. Now,
right.
with the use of modern technology, I still have a chance, right?
No, you don't have.
Whoa, wait. Let me go back. Let me. I missed that right quick. Give me a second.
I understood she had some terrible things happen in her past. That's what she said. That doesn't make an expert on it. I mean, I'm so lost here.
Had to have had children earlier. Now,
right.
with the use of modern technology, I still have a chance, right? But
Oh hell no! You did not just say that. You did not just say that. With this modern technology, I still have a. You raggedy bitch. What the fuck? Chat, close your ears. Ugh. Oh, let's continue. Let's go.
But
No, you don't have any chance. Everything's been worn out. HPV is riddle. Can we say that? I mean, I've seen the videos. I know how this stuff works.
Oh shit! He has no chill.
Damn.
Oh well,
I'd like to interview this guy. He's savage.
Oh, he's a. I think he's a Vietnam War veteran, Korean War veteran. He's from the Marines. So yeah, he definitely doesn't give a fuck. Woo! We like you. Everything's worn out. You got HPV. Oh shit. Okay, let's go.
in the past, I would have had to start having intercourse earlier, and that would have required me to start around the time of menstruation. And sometimes children can menstruate.
None of that made any sense. So you menstruate at 12. You have to do intercourse course earlier to have children. What in the hell? I am so perplexed on this. I put something about it on Twitter and I saw this and I'm going, what is going on here? I started digging. I found this.
Around very young. I think that it depends on the culture.
And I think part of that problem, a lot of that problem is I think that our age of consent law might be too high. And I would like maybe
that guy right there. But like, is that guy's face going out? Because you know that if you were I fucking said that shit, like immediate restraining order.
What's it called? SWAT would be bursting through the window right now.
Like literally FBI open up.
Literally. What the hell? Yeah, I see the chat right now. Like he's a map. Yeah, goddamn right. He's probably assistant director. What's up?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like map minor attracted persons, meaning like if you are attracted to under 18, like then yeah. Now, to a certain extent, I get it because there's some fucking young looking 18-year-olds and there's some old looking 16-year-olds. Like, I get that. Like, fuck, I remember this one Newgrounds game where it basically showed a picture of like a celebrity and then asked, would you smash? And if you said yes, but she was over 18, and if you said yes, but she was under 18, or no, and she was older 18, this fucking cartoon Fed would call you a pervert.
Man, it's definitely understandable because, you know, the 17 to 16-year-olds, they love to dress grown and use fake IDs and stuff. But this person right now is knowingly on camera for everybody to see to say that the laws for consent is a little bit too high. You disgusting little shit.
Like,
And
if
and, and,
anything,
and wait, how old is he? He looks like he's in his 50s.
yeah, like at the
Hold
very least, he's in his 40s. So he's advocating that adults should be able to have relationships like with, well, essentially the age of, I think if 18 isn't even enough for him, then he's advocating for those under half his age.
Man, let's continue before I go on a rant, because we'll be here for another hour.
That our age of consent law might be too high, and I would like maybe I'm not even sure, maybe to move more toward the European models.
I don't know how she could be on with somebody, and this guy's a Twitter head, another one of these blue check guys, who's, I guess, an advocate for protecting kids, but yet he's talking about reducing age of consent, and she just sits there and says nothing. I mean, this is...
I did not know that. He advocates protecting kids, and he turns around and say this shit.
Well, but that's the thing, that's consistent. Like, especially with the people on Twitter, you'll find that all these people on Twitter who base their identity around protecting children, they have a history of being abusers of children.
Shit, like, I ain't trying to judge a book by its cover, but he literally looks like a fucking abuser.
Like, that's the, like there's a new fucking video every single week on how someone was railing against like the lolly body type for being literal CP, even attacking like grown adults with petite bodies. And then you look into their history, it's like, oh yeah, they very much have a whole bunch of suspicious shit in their Twitter likes, and they have a history of being abusive towards minors. So yeah, like, every fucking time.
So disgusting, man. Let's continue.
Perplexing.
So, like, what's the parameter from which we're starting this conversation? That's the question.
It seems as if it's a statist paradigm, because if we're talking about age of consent being a law, I mean, that's a statist solution, is that you're going to have a...
I don't know what kind of intellectual fart sniffing shit they got.
Yeah, well, what do he mean by that? Because I'm confused on that part. He said statist. What's it called?
Yeah, the statist paradigm. So basically, he's saying statist, but what he's trying to say central authority, like fascist.
Okay.
He's trying to say that the age of consent is fascist because it's mandated by a central authority.
Okay, guy. Oh, I should have noticed that background with Liberty Lockdown.
Yeah. So yeah, he's essentially trying to say, yeah, the central government shouldn't be able to determine what the age of consent is. We, the people, should have the ability to determine what the age of consent is based on our own desires. It's like, motherfucker, if that kind of freedom existed, you would be foot first into a wood chipper right now.
Oh, without hesitation.
Yeah, not head first, foot first.
Gotta make it last longer. Cause ain't no way. Like, there will be street justice immediately.
Yeah, like it is this statist system that allows you to have this platform and not have to worry about sleeping at night while saying this kind of shit.
Yeah. Let's continue.
I mean, that's a statist solution, is that you're going to have a...
I don't know what kind of intellectual fart sniffing shit they got going here, but yeah, we live in the United States. There's going to be a law. We got laws for everything. I mean, how does this even make sense? None of it makes sense.
Hard and fast rule across the board that at a certain age it's okay, and at a certain age it's wood chipper.
And it applies.
I'm going to give the podcast guy a break. He listened a lot. He chimed in. I thought he could see this thing going off the rails a little bit. Again, there's a link below, and I've never seen him before, so I'm giving him a pass because he seemed like a little bit surprised.
It applies to everybody. That's, to me, another problem. One size fits all when human development, child development, is radically varies across people.
And I agree with you there.
Yeah. No.
Huh? Okay, what do you mean by that? Because that's how it works. It doesn't matter what type of developmental bullshit you got. 18 years old or older for consent. That's it.
Because here's the thing: if you were to get rid of that kind of requirement, you would need to create some other way to verify it. Because I'm trying to think of an equivalent that isn't restricted by age, but let's go with driving a vehicle, for example. It would be like, instead of saying, okay, you need to be 16 to apply for your driving test, instead to be like, okay, you can drive a vehicle if you can pass the driving test.
Right.
But here's the thing: if we're going to get rid of age of consent as a central authority, then by what qualifications do you determine whether or not someone is capable of that kind of consent?
I see what you're saying. I agree.
Like, you can't just say throw it out and then be like, well, unless your idea is that there should just be no age of consent laws, because you're trying to say, like, well, they develop differently. How do you measure that?
You can't. It's literally impossible.
Well, like, are you gonna because what this would lead to is essentially you'd need a license to be able to consent.
Right. So this guy is really trying to, this is a hill that he really wants to die on, and his, I guess, opinion is that because people develop differently, they should be judged individually, which, like you said, like you can't fucking do that.
Like, you cannot go to every single person in the country that has hit puberty and then go, all right, like, you had your first, like, dude, you had your first boner. You can now you are capable of writing the consent test. And as soon as you pass this exam, then you are capable of being a consenting adult.
Agreed. That's why I am in favor of this centralized laws, because it puts a blanket over everybody. If you're 18, go for it. That's it.
Well, but that's not even. But that's the thing. 18 is not you can't. It's not like it's illegal to do it before 18. You don't find two 14-year-olds doing it and then you arrest both of them for committing a crime.
Well, no, I mean by adults. What's called, at least according to the laws, adults can't take advantage of a group of people that aren't fully developed cognitively, like you said, take advantage, coerce, manipulate, making a decision that they're not willing to make themselves or not able to, according to the law.
Yeah, and that's largely determined by the difference in age rather than respective age. In Canada, like, I think age of baseline consent is 16, but you're only allowed to do it within an age gap of up to 5 years older than you. Like, literally 5 years and 1 day, that's illegal. But I think exactly 1 day under 5 years, that's legal. So a 16-year-old could do it with like a 21-year-old, so long as their birthdays were appropriately spaced. But a 16-year-old can't do it with a 22-year-old without it being illegal.
Which kind of annoys the fuck out of me. I don't really fully know the consent laws with people below 18, but I'm pretty sure that a 50-year-old should not be, or 40-year-old, let's say a 40-year-old, should not be justifying screwing a 16-year-old. I'm sure the consent laws for 16, 17-year-olds, it's between each other. Like you said, it's between the people that are close in age.
Yeah. And personally, I'm not a big fan of that either, because now that we know the statistics with divorce rates that occur with a greater number of sexual partners, if anything, we should be having more restrictions.
Oh, I completely agree.
Like, rather than less, like, because from what we've seen, like, any prior sexual partners, doesn't matter whether they were a 30-year-old, but it doesn't matter whether there's a fucking 20-year age gap or a 2-month age gap. A prior sexual partner is still damaging to the long-term pair bond.
I agree. That's why I said before, hey, if I, in the future, if I decide to have a child and my child is a daughter, unfortunately, I'm gonna treat her like Rapunzel, and my son will be very busy focusing on his success. They're gonna be busy to the point where smashing won't be the top priority. I'm not saying that I'm not saying I'm able to stop them, right? But I do agree that there should be a lot more restrictions, at least according to law.
You ain't gonna put them in fucking public school and let them hang around unsupervised when they're horny as fuck.
Agreed. Yes.
Like, because that's the thing. It's like most of the times it's happening like either at public school or like afterwards. Like, if you be like, look, you cannot be physically alone. This is the thing. Like, short of a random God, you know what, never mind, I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole, the visuals, but simple version is no. Like, there are common sense restrictions that you can place to minimize the opportunity.
But it's the fact that we got to deal with, we have to worry about in 2023 disgusting fucks like these people. And, you know, you have a child, you know, roaming around in high school.
Like, yeah, it's bad enough in fucking high school that you have to worry about them doing shit with their students. Now you've got random fucking teachers or the parents of their fucking classmates on top of that.
Yeah, it's if I ever have kids, I really don't see them going to public school. No, hell no. Sorry, because there'll be a wood chipper massacre. I'm sorry. The wood chipper will break with how many bodies will be in there. Oh, disgusting. All right, you want to continue? No, we'll continue.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
None of the developments lower age. None of it's lowering consent. Kids are trapped in adolescence at 30 years old playing with Star Wars and video games and complaining they can't meet a woman. We got a huge problem with these incels who can't meet anybody because they've been stuck in the metaverse. Yet somehow or the other, these intellectual big brains think we can reduce the age of consent so they can be with 40-year-olds.
I do agree with you there. But I think what we're missing in this conversation, it was also force parents to be a part of their children's lives, which we are lacking right now. This is a big problem of why this is happening in the first place. If you are,
I can tell you what the parents are going to say. I raised 2 girls. No, you're not old enough. You can't take care.
Right. She's making no sense. Let's continue.
Your damn self. I don't want to raise your damn kid. What in the hell is she talking about? Can somebody clue me in the comments, please?
Involved in your children's life, and I know not everybody has a perfect family structure, but the caregivers' lives. I mean, if you are responsible for deciding whom a young person engages in intercourse with, then
none at 12. Can we say that? None at 15. They're not mature.
I agree.
Mature enough emotionally. I don't give a shit about their dumb argument. Well, people mature at different ages, and that's cute intellectually. She has no kids. The other guy said he's got a 19-year-old. I don't know about the podcast guy, but like I said, he lays very.
She has no kids. She's 41 years old, and now I truly believe at this point, based on her argument, she is in favor of taking advantage of young boys or girls. Like a bunch of these teachers, like we just explained before.
What's best? She wants to fuck little boys because grown-ass men won't touch her.
Yeah, pretty much. That's literally her basis of her argument. It's fucking, bro. I hate predators so much, man. Disgusting. Let's see what else she has to say.
Very low. I'll give him a pass.
I think that you would be a little bit more involved in that child's life. And this comes down to teachers.
He doesn't know anything about kids. You're involved in your kid's life. Once they get to the age of puberty, as a father, you're involved. You're very clear on it. You explain the birth.
Facts. Like we explained before, from birth until, let's say, 8 years old, maybe even 7, the child is in the realm of the mother. Beyond that, the child is in the realm of the father. But because of the fathers getting kicked out of the households these days, that's the main reason why we're in the situation today.
Well, like, that's the thing. Like, the child should be entering the father at those ages, but with so many broken homes, that's the thing. You get two kinds of kids, basically. The ones that stay in the realm of the mother and the ones that fuck off and basically go independent, and home is just a place where they eat and sleep.
Pretty much. Can you continue elaborating? I'm going to go take a piss again.
Yeah. So now it's one thing, even with like this commentary guy who's breaking her stuff down, like, he's only had daughters. To say that you're very involved, like, well, okay, but you're a man who has daughters. Like, does he have a son? Has he ever, like, what can he say about sons? Because now, like, I don't know how much how much does a father get involved in his son's life realistically at that particular age? Because you're not going to treat your son with the same level of fucking paranoia and caution as you do with the daughter. Like, I don't know. Like, any of you guys, fucking older dudes with sons, like, how involved were you with them during those fucking rebellious teenage hormonal years?
See, I would highlight you guys' comments, but for some reason, StreamYard is being weird. After this video, I'll leave the room and come back in.
Yeah, so,
all right, let's go ahead and continue.
Yeah, just keep going.
Birds and the bees, unless you're a complete imbecile.
Neighbors, caregivers,
Yes.
sports teachers, all this stuff. So I think
Yes.
that would be ideal. And I think that's the conversation you're trying to have.
Where it started is that I have known, and you've probably known, and Clint's probably known, many, many, many people, women and men, over the years. Many of them I've known extremely well because I was dating them or married to them, who had their first sexual experience as 12, 13, 14, 15-year-old with an adult. And
that's called statutory rape.
Yeah, why are you trying to...
That's a crime. That's illegal.
Yeah, he's trying to fucking mitigate the situation.
Yeah, like you're basically saying, like, well, I've known a bunch who had that. It's like, okay, so you've known a whole bunch of rape victims. That doesn't make it right. That's like saying you knew a bunch of people who were fucking murdered. That doesn't, just because it's common, doesn't mean it's correct or beneficial.
Yeah, he's talking like these children know what the fuck they're doing. Oh, when they were 12 or 13, you know, they had their first experience with an adult. Shut the fuck up.
That just means rape is normalized in modern society already.
The fact that you are here nonchalantly talking about your homies or whatever were sexually abused, like it's no big fucking deal. Wood chipper.
Well, yeah, but that's the thing, and we see this all the fucking time. Because, like, here's the thing that pisses me off. The whole thing with fucking Catholic priests touching little boys, that's a fucking joke to guys. Like, they'll say that it's wrong, but then you fucking let them know that elementary school female teachers are raping boys the same way, and then they get fucking uncomfortable with it.
Oh, yeah. And then they treat the boys like they're young men.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. I mean, the same guys who will laugh at fucking rape, like homosexual rape.
You mean grape?
Great, fine.
Well, we're on YouTube.
Yeah, I know. But like, is my point getting across? People are more
Yeah.
comfortable with the fucking Catholic priest shit than the elementary school teacher shit.
Yeah. That's why I'm agreeing with you, saying that they make no big deal when it comes to the situation. You know, not just adults messing with kids, but more specifically when it comes to boys. Girls, the man is going to prison at the speed of light. But when
Yeah,
it comes
like-
to boys,
Yeah,
They-
40-year-old man touches a 12-year-old girl. Yeah, he's going to fucking prison and he's getting shanked. 40-year-old woman fucks around with a 12-year-old boy. Like, that's the thing. They're either happy with it or they get uncomfortable talking about it. They don't want to acknowledge that as being real for some reason.
oh man, I wish I had that teacher when I was younger. Fucking disgusting fucks. And like you said, it's already being normalized, especially when the high schooler, when he was statutory great by his teacher, he was still required to pay child support. He was still required. Underage boy.
Yeah, like at the very, we may as well just make it into law that it only applies if you're either ugly or a man. Like this law only applies to ugly women or men. If you're a
Pretty
hot
much.
woman, you can get away with that shit. And unfortunately, that Eliza chick, she's hot enough, she'd probably get away with it.
Yeah, the 40-something-year-old. I wouldn't touch her with a fucking
Yeah, but you got to
missile,
consider.
but there's simps out there that are willing to do it.
There's fucking Simpson. There's in their fucking 30s to 60s who would fucking give her a pass just because they think she's hot. Like she ain't 400 fucking pounds, and her face doesn't look like you went to a bulldog with a blowtorch, and that's enough.
Oh, so how you say a lot of people these days still in 2023 underestimate the power of simps. There's there's a message from Frost. He says, so apparently Tim Pool is defending this chick and then blocked the quartering. Ooh, that is not that you're gonna take a nasty hit, Tim Pool, for defending her. I doubt that is gonna be anything lasting, but he's gonna take a hit.
Let's be honest. Tim Pool basically has simps at this point. He's got a whole bunch of fucking loyalists who will back him regardless. And I'm honestly, I somewhat suspect Tim Pool is in the pocket of the larger organizations too.
Yes.
So it does. That's the thing. He can hold whatever fucking position. Doesn't matter if it's controversial to the masses. He's not going to get canceled. He is too valuable to the powerful people as a source of. The thing is, like, he's the fucking filter.
And the fact that Tim Pool defended this chick,
yeah,
means that it's being normalized. The fact that he's even defending her right now.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like, it's a fucking concentrated effort to normalize this kind of shit. And that's the thing. Tim Pool's a fucking seller. Like everyone's kind of fucking known it, but.
And then they act shocked on why men are walking away, or just saying "fuck this shit." Come on. Yeah. And I mean, people being shocked. I mean, the fucking, the liberals and the male feminists and blah blah blah.
Oh, that's the thing. They're fucking mindless ass sheep who, like, will submit to whatever the fuck they're told to submit to. They're shocked that other people have independent thought.
Pretty much.
Like, I don't know if you've ever seen any of the sample videos where, like, it's a video game from an NPC's perspective, and they're like speed running from an NPC's perspective. that's probably the equivalent of what these people do. Like they just go through the daily motions of their lives, never questioning anything, doing exactly what they're told, and then they see someone with independent thought and agency, and they're like, "The fuck's that guy doing? Holy shit, that's weird. That's scary."
Pretty much. That is true. Damn, I wish I can bring up comments right now, but we'll do it later. I got a generous donation from Rangers. Okay. And Ranger said, "Love the content. You guys are awesome. Thank you very much. We do our best to give you guys meaningful content." Okay. Not regurgitate the same thing over and over. And this is very important too. Very important. But before we continue, once again, second show of today. If you want to support your boy, link on top of the chat, Cash App /Sir Yeetus. Any donations appreciated. If you feel I'm worthy of your investment, let's watch this disgusting pieces of shit. I might have to buy like an actual wood chipper at this point, because what the fuck?
By almost every standard in this whole country, he's going to go through and sim for and be like, well, it was okay for him, except
They, across the board,
Unreal.
don't feel like they were victimized at all. And these are people who are now like my age in their 50s. Okay. So they still think
Really?
They don't feel like they were victimized. Like, is that because their entire life everyone told them it's not a big deal, get over it?
Or like, wasn't the adults that they were with said that, oh, it's natural. It's a natural feeling. There's nothing wrong with this. Or their 11, 12, 13-year-old mind can't really truly comprehend this crazy situation that's happening of being sexually abused.
Yeah, and notice how he doesn't go into any more details about the kinds of lives that these people have. It's just like, oh, they don't feel like they were victimized by that. It's like, okay, how many of them have turned to drugs or alcohol or cigarettes? Have they had a stable, trusting relationship?
Nope.
Like
But
what's the condition of these people who you say don't feel victimized? Because I'm willing to bet that they don't have stable fucking households and healthy relationships.
and eventually a lot of them eat themselves.
Yeah. So no, that guy, he's either being disingenuous or talking out his ass.
Like, wow. Let's whoo, he's irritating me. I'm sorry. Let's continue.
this. They don't think there was a victim. They don't think the guy deserved anything. Sometimes, yeah, it was always a guy. Because a lot of
people, his children were abused. I don't even understand how he can vouch for this and go, well, I know some people, and I understand he's an advocate for kids as well. And she's an advocate. She should be saying, whoa, whoa, whoa. You crossed the boundary here. I don't want to hear about small exceptions. You know, I have a pet peeve for that. They don't apply to talking about this en masse.
gay men have this. A lot of gay men have this. It's very common among gay men. That's what
Oh,
Milo was
But
talking
there we
about.
fucking
He's just-
go.
Well, something should be done.
There
Called
we
it.
fucking go.
Called it. Well, you called it too, but called it. Holy shit. I immediately said, earlier, alphabet community /liberals.
No, like, that's
Why-
the thing.
why they're
These
talking this
like,
crazy
these guys
shit?
were fucking victimized as children, and now they're gay. It's like, huh? Yeah, it's almost as though there's a correlation between childhood sexual abuse and joining the alphabet mafia. Huh?
Caught in 4K. But let's continue before Susan decides to eat us, because we're going to expose them even more. We're going against the narrative, boys.
About that. A lot of gay men have this situation. It should be handled. It shouldn't be happening. It should not be a thing.
stating a fact that a lot of gay men had their first sexual experience with a man when they were technically children. And I've talked to so many of them who said
Well,
this
that's
to me.
stunning and brave.
Not only was it not bad, it was a wonderful experience.
You motherfucker.
So translation, a lot of gay men were raped as children. Huh?
Hey, And you trying to say it's a wonderful? Okay.
Yeah, and you're saying that. Well, no,
Okay.
it's a wonderful thing. Yeah, it's called fucking Stockholm syndrome. They're fucking coping with that thing. They need to believe it's wonderful because the alternative is accepting that a horrible thing happened to them, and everyone around them thought it was okay.
Everybody in the chat, type wood chipper. Everybody in the chat. Everybody in the chat, type that shit. I want to see a bunch of wood chipper because that's what this guy deserves. I don't give a fuck. Holy shit. Holy shit. He's really trying to excuse. Oh, man. And they really believe that there's nothing wrong with what they're talking about. And I guarantee you, they affiliate with liberals / alphabet community. All three, especially the Eliza chick, but the other two as well. Holy shit. Let's go before I just go fucking nuts with with the rant.
And what do we do with that?
They should be locked up. That's what we do with it. You enforce the damn laws.
Nah, no lock up, wood chipper.
The kids need parents that are keeping a good eye on them, apparently, because this is an issue he's advocating for. Stand by.
I was with a woman for a long time. We were the same age, so people don't get any confusion about this. We started dating when I was 27 and she was 26, and we stayed together for 15 years. And her first relationship started when she was 15, and it was with her high school English teacher, and it lasted for 3 years. I think he was in his 30s.
Well, that's not acceptable. He should be in prison.
Yeah.
I mean, bottom line.
God, that's like prison. And guess what? She was fine. It's like, no, she was fucking 27, stuck with your ass for apparently 15 years, no kids, no family. And you're talking like this is fucking normal. Like, no, you encountered someone who was fucking damaged and you see nothing wrong with it.
Right. Like, do you wonder why you're divorced right now? Like, come on, guy. Seriously? Like, it's all right, let's continue, man.
I don't want to hear some excuse about 1920. He was in a position of power. She was a student. It wasn't like arranged marriage or some shit. I mean, come on.
1,000% illegal. Everybody on Twitter tells me that they would put him through a wood chipper. And I'm telling you that she never once has thought about the relationship as anything other than just a relationship.
No shit, because she's a fucking okay. So you think the predator, the perpetrator, is just going to outright say, "Oh yeah, I'm going to take advantage of you for sexual purposes"? Of course, he's not going to say that. Of course, he's going to feed her or him beautiful lies in order to make it seem like what they're doing is okay.
And then people like you come along and fucking normalize it further.
Oh, fuck this guy. Fuck this guy. Fuck this man. I'm gonna have to go work out after this because I'm this dude. Let's go ahead and continue.
Because she was abused. I mean, can we say that? This guy, I cannot believe, Blue, whatever her name is, sitting there on the top. Eliza's like, okay, and she'll agree with it.
And so for him to be put in prison or killed or even ostracized would make no sense to her. And actually I'm pretty sure she would see it as a terrible injustice. And I can tell you stories of many, many other women and men who have told me just that. And so that raises a really hard question. I'm not saying.
What do you do as a job, or what kind of people you hang out with that you have all these different examples? Makes you wonder.
Like, that's the thing. I'm willing to bet that these are fucking advocates. So their entire job is to collect money to talk about shit. Like, and their specific stuff is in their. So guess what? This guy talks with victims and perpetrators of abuse. That's his job. That's literally his entire fucking life, his entire social circle, is to deal with the abusers and the abused.
And yeah, pretty much. It has to be. Because he's sounding... It's either he goes around and tries to get this type of information, or he himself, he's sounding like a groomer to me right now.
Yeah, well, then after we saw what that one gay couple did with those kids that they adopted,
Yeah.
would we really be surprised?
Nope, not at all. Not at all. All right, let's continue.
This is
No hard question at all. These adults need to keep their damn hands to themselves. If they can't, they need to be dealt with.
Simple as that. I'm sure nobody would disagree with that.
Well, we know plenty of people would disagree with that, and those people are the people in this fucking podcast.
True. I meant the people in this chat. I'm sure none of you guys would disagree with that.
Proper authorities, and no, I repeat, no special segregation in prison, no protective custody. Let the prison justice system sort that out.
easy answer, right? This is a tough question. It's the hardest question. I don't have an answer, but it is a question that we have.
You don't have an answer. The answer is no. There's no excuse.
You see how they dance around, like manipulate the words and the mental gymnastics.
You know, like here's the thing. Like, I would suggest taking, like, here would be an idea for this solution, taking away the lower tool, but like there's really no decent solution. So like wood chipper probably is the answer. But like I'd settle for just what's the operation where you surgically remove the head from the rest of the body? Because I'm pretty sure that whatever that medical procedure is called is what we should start applying.
I have no idea what it's called, but I do know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I agree.
There's probably a medical term like skullectomy or something.
Oh shit! Let's see what else he has to say.
Use for this. There's no simping for this. There's no making, oh, this is stunning and brave for this.
To deal with, because a lot of those people do in fact end up in prison or killed. And do we
As they
really
should
want
be.
that to happen? Especially retroactively. You know, if you have a woman who, it turns out, you know, she's 50 years old, but when she was 15, this thing happened. Do we really want to go get that guy? And
The guy should get in trouble for if the statute of limitations hasn't run out. We're going to have laws. We either enforce the laws or we don't have the laws. We can't have this in between, because you see what's going on now in the country. People get let out, then they're locked up in D.C. for 2 years for trespassing. There could be problems here.
stick him in Attica.
Yeah. If that person, man or woman, turns out that they were touching little kids back in the day, and the statute of limitations is still there,
But
Yeah.
here's the thing, we don't have a fucking statute of limitations on any of this Me Too shit. Why the fuck are we talking about getting rid of the statute of limitations for this kind of crap?
you're speaking too much logic, man. Too much logic, bro. It's this the disgusting hypocrisy. I wouldn't even say hypocrisy. This is just straight up fucking disgusting. Like, this is what I mean. Like, never in my wildest dreams in my lifetime, right? Even though I didn't really live too long, but long enough that I will be seeing a bunch of fucking chomos on camera, on video, talking nonchalantly about sexual abuse of minors. And, oh, you know, there's a gray area. What the fuck? Wood chipper.
Yeah, and then those same people being platformed, given a place to speak, and being defended for it.
Being defended for it by a major platform at that. Ooh, okay, let's continue.
You know, I don't think so, but that's all I said on Twitter, right?
Yeah.
And
You're a
all I
douche.
said on Twitter, and that was
So let's pretend like we all have our like utopia. So if I could answer this in utopia, right? In my
There is no utopia, so stop. Stop doing intellectual.
Utopia or dystopia of the most disgusting, horrific, atrocious kind.
That's the thing. Hey, well, let's say utopia is like.
Because when
Like,
she says utopia, that means that it's good in her eyes, which is, wood chipper time.
Yeah, like she's trying to say, like, oh, in my ideal situation, it's like your ideal situation sounds like it's only ideal for you.
So she flat out just admitted in 4K. I want to say 4K. Well, yeah, 4K, that she is a straight up predator.
Yeah.
She just admitted like right there.
She's a predator and wants it to be accepted by society so she can fuck little boys because grown men won't touch her.
Oh, these grown men that bust their ass for decades and now they're men of value. They don't want this old, used up puniti. So let me go after a group of people that hasn't even experienced life yet and take advantage of the naiveness so I can fulfill my selfish desires.
Yeah, because she ain't gonna have fucking kids with them. That's not what she wants. She purely wants the fucking power play of, well, that kind of improper sexual dynamic.
Right. She needs to go into two wood chippers. No wonder she did her best to fucking shut everybody down on Twitter. Okay. You fucking creep. Let's continue.
Well, shit, when you say you're an advocate for children, it's not appropriate. There is never a utopia. This whole community will police each other and all work out. She sounds like Hillary Clinton.
Like, perfect ANCAP utopia. Each community,
And cat
each community, and each, so it'd be each caregiver, parent, and community, including teachers, potential faith leaders, and neighbors, will decide if the child is ready to consent and look at the child.
That is so vague and
That just the way she said that grossed me the fuck out.
Yeah, and here's the thing: is like, well, all these people will agree. It's like, well, what if they disagree? What if your local religious leader disagrees with the parents?
Exactly, because that child is still a child.
Like, that's the thing, like in your fucking ANCAP society, it's basically going to go to who's most willing to be violent for the kid. Like you don't get a fucking ANCAP society and then have community leaders. ANCAP means ANCAP. Everyone for them fucking selves. Everything's fucking bought and paid for. There's no community leaders in fucking ANCAP. As soon as you have a community leader, then you have some kind of non-anarchy society.
Exactly. And like you said before, what if the parent says, fuck no, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
What, you're gonna remove the parents? You're gonna get rid of the parents?
Yeah. The preacher says yes, the parents say no. Whose authority supersedes? It's fucking ANCAP. It's going to be violence. Violence is what's going to win.
Like, she is the epitome, man. You know what? Let's continue. Let's continue listening to her disgusting, quote unquote utopia. Ugh.
it'll never work. Each community, one may say 10, one may say 8, one may say 12. I mean, this person was on Tim Pool's podcast, and this thing right here has been out. This is not new information I found here. I'm not no internet sleuth. None of this should be acceptable and allowed, and it should have been brought up. I know Tim won't address it, but
Behavior. Do they have a job? Was their education going? Are they cognitively available to have sex with this
no, not at 12. They're not. I mean, again, doesn't have any children. She's talking based on her own situation, but I would suspect when she was 12, wouldn't have been appropriate for her. I can't believe it's coming out of these people's mouths, and this is person's hanging out with all the best conservatives. Somehow got pushed up there. I don't.
Here's the thing, though.
Before you continue, be right back again.
No, here's the thing: is if she did have sex as a minor, then she's probably the greatest fucking example of why you shouldn't let minors have sex, because they'll end up like Eliza Blue here. That's the thing. Like, if you're like, well, it happened to me and I turned out okay. It's like, no, honey, you aren't fucking okay. You're not fine. you might not think, oh, well, that's the reason why I'm like this. Like, no, everyone else, everyone who isn't you, can see that you're fucking psycho. And it's only other people who want to justify your abuse so that they too can go and abuse others that will justify it. You probably pushed out everyone in your life who told you that terrible shit had happened to you and surrounded yourself with people who said that everything that happened to you was good.
Man, this see, this is why we say society, right? And we know that Sodom and Gomorrah is used as a scenario, a symbolic situation where all types of morality, how you say, ethics and all that stuff, it completely just falls apart. It degrades, it's gone, decays, and it's just nothing but selfish instinct, animal instinct. You know, they don't give a fuck about what's right or wrong. They only give a fuck about what makes them feel good. Whether it's drugs, whether it's being a fucking predator, etc. That's literally Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yeah.
And let's add in Babylon as well.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And those places, they die not because God decides to send a fucking meteor at them, but because they didn't fucking take care of shit. Because guess what? In order to provide a healthy, stable society, people got to do shit that they don't like. And they got to hold off on doing shit that they would like. If you have a society where no one's got any fucking restrictions, it's going to fall apart. Like, I'd be willing to believe that the actual Sodom and Gomorrahs of history probably died either to fire or plague.
I'll say a mixture of both.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I'm willing to bet that in Sodom and Gomorrah, like, STDs were running fucking rampant.
Oh yeah, definitely. And what's it called? Since they had no sense of morality or ethics, whoever it is, like you said earlier, there must have been a shit ton of violence on top of that.
Yeah, like a shit ton of violence, no fucking law enforcement, and everyone's dying of fucking diseases of one kind or the other.
Yeah,
like the whole place would fall the fuck apart, and I would not be surprised if, as you were walking away from the Hitty, you could hear the screams of the damned, because that's basically what they were.
Yeah, on top of that, alcohol. Nobody's doing, like you said, nobody's doing what they're supposed to do. The shit, it just falls apart. It literally falls apart, and according to what's happening right now in the United States, at least, it's no different. It's very similar.
That's why MGTOW is so powerful, because all it's doing is being, let's cut the fucking life support to Sodom and Gomorrah. Let them experience the actual consequences instead of shielding them from everything. Because that's all it takes. That's literally all it takes, is just let these people experience the consequence of their actions. Stop protecting them.
Yeah, and all these things, but let me hold up, wind just a little bit, because she was saying some crazy shit.
It's conservative, somehow got pushed up there. I don't understand remotely how this is a thing.
Individual, and then also look at the history of the individual as well. So does this individual have a history of abuse?
Yep.
And
Wait, hold on.
And you go from there.
Yep.
So that's the answer.
None of that works. That is,
Yeah, what do you?
You're basically saying, like, someone's got to submit a formal proposal to have a relationship, and then the entire community has to do an in-depth investigation and psychoanalysis of the two parties before giving their approval.
Okay.
Imagine that you meet some fucking chick at the bar, because they're not saying that this is only for underage. This is just in general. So imagine this: you meet some fucking chick at the bar, and you go, "Hey, baby, you want to sign a formal application for us to go to bedroom and knock boots?" I'm pretty sure I got a good connection with the local priest. I'm pretty sure that we'll have our application dealt with within the month.
That sounds fucking so stupid. And that's her plan
That's her utopia.
or utopia. Yeah.
Her
It's,
fucking utopia is a shit ton of people having to formally decide whether or not it's fine. Because guess what? What if they say no? Like, because that would be alternative. Like they fucking do it anyway, and then the community says no. Then who gets lynched?
right. Like, see, that's where everything will go to shit, like you said earlier. Because if the parents say, no, still my child, my rules, and I say my child is not gonna participate in your fucking creepy antics.
And
But
then
the
the local
priest is
priest,
like,
preacher's like, well, you're in my religious community, so if you're not going to submit your child to take it up the ass, then you're not allowed at the church anymore, and you're going to have to leave the community and be ostracized.
which, man, her plan is so fucking stupid. Let's continue.
Like, wasn't the whole plot of Braveheart because, like, the dude, because it was the fucking first right of the king was being objected to, something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
I think that was a fucking grown ass woman. Like, you can imagine that if fucking rebel, like, it's like your fucking ANCAP society burned to the fucking ground from internal strife before the first application was finalized.
Yeah, because ain't no fucking way. Ain't no fucking way.
Pipe dream nonsense. Who's going to force that in the community? What if you get a community that says, no, not at all? This one says 12, this one says 18. They don't agree. So does the 18 community come over and just whack the 12-year-old community boss? This is some Walking
You just said that.
Dead shit she came up with here. And I don't think she's ever thought through it. She's not capable of thinking through it. I think this is the highlight of her career besides shaking her ass in a rap video.
And I feel that these are conversations because, in different cultures,
stupid.
you cannot turn your back on different.
We're not talking about Afghanistan, honey. We're talking about the United States of America. Can we stick with that? We're not talking with third world countries where people get sold off or married off when they're 12.
Cultures, and you have to respect them. But in an ANCAP society, you also have to expect that if someone engages in a relationship where it's not seen by the community, by the very small community, as agreed upon, you have to accept the consequences.
I don't understand the word she's saying. So 12-year-olds
guess what?
I can't peace, man.
Guess what? Fucking ANCAP, bitch, in a fucking ANCAP society, you're dead.
Oh yeah,
you say
dead.
this shit without the protection of the feds and the cops and this larger state that you seem to fucking despise. The same state that says you can't fuck a 12-year-old is the same state that is keeping people from feeding you fuck the wood chipper. This is what's keeping people from peeling your skin with a fucking potato peeler.
It's crazy, man.
Like, that's the state is the only reason that you can say this and still be alive. As soon as it goes fucking ANCAP, your utopia is not going to come into existence because everybody like you is going to be in such a tiny minority that you are chopped up into tiny pieces and fed to pigs.
She's gonna have the biggest target on her back, like as well as every other fucking predator.
Yeah,
Fuck
you want fucking ANCAP rules for you, but you still want to be protected by the overarching state.
It's like her it was very difficult to navigate through what the fuck she was talking about, but we got the broader sense of what she's trying to say, and what she's trying to say makes no fucking sense. That's why it's according to her words, a utopia, because ain't no fucking way that shit will be it's impossible. It's literally impossible for her reality to exist, to manifest, because like you said, everything will be destroyed by the time that's even talked about.
Yeah. Like, before that conversation happened, like if you go to the fucking community meeting and say, we need to discuss the age of consent and whether or not it should be lowered. Yeah, you're going to be hanging in the town square within the hour. That's what's going to fucking happen in your ANCAP society.
And I was wondering why Hammerhand was like going ham on this video, because he has a reaction video to this one. Now I see why. Holy shit, we're pretty much at the end game. The fact that she says that we need to have a conversation chat.
Because guess what? Here's the thing, if you want a fucking culture where you can do this kind of stuff, and you know of a culture where you can do this stuff, go there. Go to that fucking country and be a part of them. Because you certainly ain't welcome in any part of this civilized society. Because that's the thing. You can always pack up your shit and go to a country that follows the fucking laws. That you feel the need to convert the local laws, the ones that you don't like. You're using a handful of laws from another culture and trying to inject them into your current society because you still want all the comforts and protections of the current culture.
I was just about to say that.
But you want some extra shit on top of that. It's like, no. That ain't how it fucking works. Like, you go and you get everything. Because guess what? That same place where you can go fuck a minor, guess what? Someone like you is going to end up with their head rolling or going to be fucking tied up or buried up to your neck and have the locals throw stones at you until you die simply for their amusement.
Because there won't be no boys in blue to protect you.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, gentlemen, should that ever happen, remember this. Overhand is if you want to take them out fast. Underhand is if you want to make it last.
Oh shit. Let's move on to the next couple videos. I know we watched these videos before, but I have to put it out there again for the point of this stream, because more and more of these videos are popping up. I guarantee you, if I go on Twitter, I can find even more evidence. But once again, we're going to go through these videos one more time. I know you guys probably already watched it, but this is just to emphasize the normalization of evil, atrocious acts that they're trying to bring onto Western world. Because like we just said just now, if it wasn't for all these protections that these people have, they won't be here. They would not be here right now. So let's watch these couple of videos.
Less stigmatizing than other terms like pedophile. A lot of people, when they hear the term pedophile, they automatically assume that it means a sex offender. And that isn't true, and it leads to a lot of misconceptions about attractions toward minors.
So, once again, this is normalizing this disgusting evil behavior.
So if I say that I am a afterlife inducing enthusiast, does that mean that people won't treat me as dangerous if they find out I've got a body count of 20? I'm just an afterlife inducing enthusiast here. I'm not a murderer.
Hey, that's a great analogy. Yeah, like, what do you mean? You know, what are you talking about?
Just because I really, really want to make a whole bunch of people cease to live on this planet doesn't mean that I'm a murderer or a serial killer. Those are stigmatizing terms. I'm an afterlife-inducing enthusiast who's very passionate about my particular hobby.
Man, I'm telling you, it's crazy. It's and let's go over here in 1 second, guys. You heard the video, you seen the video. I'm assuming that you guys know what part of community this person is.
Yeah. Yeah, and we have to go this person because we're not entirely sure what chromosomes they were born with.
Yeah, because you can tell that they've been injecting them hormones. Let's go to this one. Remember, this person actively is involved with children. Actively involved.
Like that's the at this point, anyone who says that they want to work with children, I immediately assume that they're suspicious.
Man, this I know you guys already watched this, my very first what video, but you got to listen to it one more time. It's just the craziness that's been going on within the last 10 years. Actually, no, fuck that. Within the last 5. It's just wow.
I am a psychotherapist, educator, consultant, and author. I run my private practice here in Philadelphia, and I am the author of the Everybody book, which is an LGBTQ inclusive sex ed resource for 7 to 12-year-olds.
Yeah.
Why does a 7-year-old see wood chipper right now?
Yeah. Like
why does a 7-year-old need to know about any of that shit?
You can't even have the you get 7 to 12-year-olds, so literally prepubescence.
I was worried about fucking ice cream and Looney Tunes at 7 years old. I didn't give a fuck about.
I was wondering if Mew was underneath the truck beside the SSN.
It's just like they're okay. They're not even at that age, 7 years old, and she's talking about LGBT and sexual shit to 7-year-olds. And she's talking nonchalantly like this is normal. This is something that is an everyday thing.
The only reason that the only reason that a fucking 7 to 12-year-old needs that kind of shit is if the fucking adults in their house are being really fucking obvious with their relations. Like either it's fucking mommy bringing home man after man after man,
right?
Or you've got a situation where like there's again, it's fucking LGBTQ inclusive. Like either you got two fucking moms or two fucking dads. Either way, they have an anormal family. Like they're in a broken home of some kind, and they need to understand why all these strange adults keep showing up for one night every so often. But they need to understand, hey, why the heck was this? Like, why the heck did I see this weird shit happening? Like, why was mommy sitting on top of daddy and both of them were dressed like wrestlers?
It's I don't even know what to make of it because right now I'm just all about that action. I don't even want to, have a conversation. Like the fuck. Let's finish this video right quick. It's only 30 more seconds.
Oh! Ew, dude! What the fuck?
Yeah, and I love that you said that this talk specifically was geared towards teens, but you're so right that sexuality education starts the minute you're born. I mean,
No. What?
You aren't even fucking conscious the minute that you are born. You don't even get fucking memories until at the very least like 2 or 3 years old.
So
you can't educate a fucking newborn.
she's moving the goalposts to the fucking other side of the Milky Way right now.
But like it is honestly reminding me of one of the more memorable lines of a Serbian film. Are you aware of a Serbian film?
No.
It's a fucked up movie. Maybe look at the plot summary, but don't actually watch it.
Okay. Cool.
But yeah, but there's one line which I think embodies what this woman wants.
Well, hell,
porn.
do you see her face?
Yeah.
Look at those eyes.
I guess that's these. You can. I guess it's a fucking stereotypical. Like you can find. Like here's the thing. This is what's fucked up. There was this old shit where, like, it's an old photography thing about how photography is evil because it was used to categorize races by comparing people by portraits.
Right.
After seeing the similarities between these kinds of people, I kind of think it needs to make a comeback because there's so many just fucking visual similarities. Like, it's the thing, it's like there's this shape. I can only think of it as like heart shaped, where it gets really fucking wide just below the eyes. There's a shit ton of forehead, and then it fucking juts in real fast to a point right around the jawline. Like it's like this distorted, rounder face, like they got squished from the top to the bottom. Like someone tried to make a new Stewie Griffin out of a woman, but quit halfway through.
It's something that, and I saw your comment, Black Red Pill. I'm not surprised. It's evil. I'm not gonna read it, but it's man. That's all you can call it. Evil. So fucking evil. Let's see what else this crazy bitch has to say.
You're born with bodies. These bodies are cool. We want to touch our bodies. We're learning about privacy and, being sexual in public from a very early age.
What? Precisely. What?
We're so fucked. I'm so glad I do not have any kids right now. I am so fucking glad.
Like I'm honestly
this bad boy.
Like here's the thing. I do not remember ever being toilet trained. Like just straight up. Like I don't remember that. That's not a part of fucking
I don't
childhood.
remember.
Like by the time I had memories and consciousness, that shit was already dealt with.
I was like, let's say the earliest I can remember, in my opinion, was 4, like actual clear memories.
Yeah.
I'll say 4 to 5 years old.
But that's the thing. Is like it's kind of the same with, don't fucking get naked in public and shit. Like I never had to be taught don't whip your dick out.
No, you never did.
I don't remember ever needing to be taught that. No formal fucking education. If that was ever an issue, that was something that was dealt with before the age of 3.
Agreed. So right now, when it comes to these predators, chat, this correlates to what's going on with the other thing that's being normalized is pretty much the confusion, the gender confusion, just confusing young kids, manipulating and taking advantage of young children to the point where for some reason a 8-year-old, a 7-year-old has the conscious, right, is mature enough, right, has enough cognitive ability to be chemically castrated. And the dad was on Tim Pool's podcast last night to elaborate on the situation. Holy shit! the amount of things that went against him, whether it's the courts, whether it's the baby mama, whether it's the judge itself, both his defense and the prosecution lawyers, everybody was against him. And even when the his son said that I don't want to wear girl clothes, I don't want to wear girl clothes, I want to wear boy clothes, and it was caught on video, they dismissed the evidence. They dismissed it. So not only they want to, right now, these people, if I even want to call them that, want to take advantage of minors. Now they're trying to normalize what 1 years old, 2 years old, 3 years old. All of a sudden, the parents like, oh, you're a boy, you're a girl now. Oh, since you're a girl and you don't really have a choice, I'm gonna pump some hormones in you because you're a girl. You gotta fit my delusional image. I don't care about your long-term effects. I don't care about your consequences. Take these injections, fuck up your body that you're gonna have to deal with for the rest of your life.
You're basically going to get it to the point where parents are going to treat fucking slice. It's going to be like circumcision, but they're going to take a couple extra inches.
Literally, and they already normalized abortion, right? It's already, typical for a woman to have at least a couple abortions in her lifetime, right? Now let's go to the extremes: 6, 7, 10 abortions in her lifetime.
Jesus. Yeah, I don't know if you saw my community post, but I got to work on putting together this next video because I think it's going to be a series. Because that like artificial womb company thing that was being advertised.
Yeah.
I'm basically just going to make a series of ads for that and use all these kinds of video shorts as examples. This is, as far as I'm concerned, this is all fucking ad material.
I hope you do it, man, because it is a great idea. I am surprised that this father that's going through this nonsense right now. Just look at the title, chat. Look at the title. The kid, he lost custody of his kid, and the mom ran away to California, where it's legally. For some reason, it's fucking legal in California, right? But it's a cesspool full of fucking just disgusting degenerates, in my opinion. It's legal for the kid to go through transition, a 9-year-old kid. And the patience on this man is insane. Because the amount of hockey mask time that this man is able to do, I say I fully understand if he went to that point. I fully fucking understand. You literally rip the child away from him just because, out of spite, the ex-wife, just out of spite, took the kid, took alimony, took half his shit, took blah, blah, blah. And now you want to put my son, my legacy, the one that's going to carry my name, you're going to put him in the fucking dress and chemically castrate him to get back at me, to feed your own delusion. What's going on? Because in my opinion, this entire situation is the ex-wife getting back at the husband, and that is fucked. She's willing to throw her own child under the bus.
Yeah. Like next time anyone talks about a mother's unconditional love for her child, add this to the fucking list of counter evidence.
And man, I got countless evidence of the supposed caring and nurturing modern women.
That'd be another thing to do, just another series of ads. Like find someone talking about a mother's unconditional love for their child and then contrast it with just one of these stories.
Yeah, because honestly, in my opinion, I believe that at this point, this situation would not have happened 100 years ago when the man had authority. I guarantee you, I don't give a fuck if the wife doesn't like the child or not, or the wife just doesn't like the husband or not. She would think twice on doing some atrocious shit like chemically castrating or killing her own child because the husband had authority to stop her, or had authority to say, "Hey, you know, chill
Look,
the fuck out, chill the fuck out, or else."
At the very least, you go back far enough, the mother wanted to off her kid, she'd have to do it in fucking secret.
Oh yeah. She had no choice, because if it's
like I said, like they might still do it, they might still have done it, but they couldn't be fucking open and blatant about it.
yeah, like we still got some dumpster babies here and there, in 2023. But yeah, back then, oh yeah, there's no fucking way, because if you were caught trying to off the kid, whether it's in the womb or not, oh, you're fucked. You're fucked. And right now, this father that's currently going through the situation, his hands are tied. There's nothing you could do. See, this is why I also say I'm glad I don't have any kids, because look how much power the state has over your child, that the one that came from your loins, came from you, your seed, and the people that don't even give a fuck about your child has the most say. That is some nightmare fuel. That's why I commend this father, his undying patience, because, woo, for most men, that would have been HMT a long time ago. It wouldn't even get to this point. It wouldn't. A lot of fathers will sacrifice themselves to protect their child. They will take the hit and go to jail, go to prison, to protect the child from evil fucks that's trying to chemically castrate them.
No, I'd like to believe that, but I ain't seeing it.
Okay, what I mean by that, I mean masculine, like fathers that actually give a damn, like give a damn about their legacy. Like this Texas dad right here, right? At this point in 2023, he's most likely the exception to the rule. But the fact that he literally threw all this money away, he had to go through all this scrutiny from social media and shit, just because he doesn't want his 9-year-old child by force. I would even say consent, by force, because it was caught on camera that the child did not want to be a girl. The child wanted to wear boy clothes. And now, somehow, some way, they may succeed in trying to literally make him a girl at 9 years old. If that doesn't tell you the normalization of degeneracy in Western society today, chat, just be in this man's shoes, be in this Texas dad's shoes, that not only you going through a divorce, but your ex-wife, out of spite, can literally take your child away from you and chemically castrate your child. Out of spite.
Yeah. All right, I'm taking a leak myself. Keep it back.
Oh, it's all good. I'm very passionate about this, chat, because in my opinion, okay, let me ask you guys, all this craziness that's happening right now, especially among the alphabet community, who do you think is going to be affected the most? Young boys or young girls? I repeat the question. All this craziness that's happening, especially with the Texas dad situation, who do you think is going to be more affected in the future? Young boys or young girls? Because in society today, at this point, society, in the eyes of society, they're looking at young boys as defective girls. I repeat, in the eyes of society in 2023, they're looking at young boys as effective girls. And it's not even just about the boys. Right now, they're having an open fucking panel on various platforms about wanting to lower consent of sex. They want to lower the age. So no child is safe. And if they keep moving the goalposts and seceding, it's not going. It's just not going to end well. We accept that society ain't going to last long. But what I'm saying is the fact that we can't even protect our own kids from evil. Look at Texas.
Well, no,
that he
you
could
can't.
protect
That's
his
the thing.
child.
No, he could, but he wasn't willing to pay the price for it.
Okay, I see what he's trying to go to. He tried to go the civil route, but as he explained last night, all of his options dried up.
Yeah.
He did everything, quote unquote, right,
yeah.
But he says right now he ran out of options. So
now he still has an
who knows
option.
how far he's going to. No, whoa. That's what I'm saying. Like at this point on, who knows how far he's going to go? Who? Because I'm telling you, chat. I already know how far I will go if I ever had kids.
Yeah, but how far would you go?
Life.
It's not a question of how far you would go. It's how fast would you go there.
Well, very, very, very fucking quickly. Very quick.
That's the reason that these people lose. They keep It's the same as these fucking conservacucks who keeps thinking that they can vote their way out of the next bad thing, or that they can just have a civil discussion and talk it out, and that there's no need to jump to the extremes. That's why this shit keeps happening. That's why it keeps going further. I guarantee you this shit would stop if HMT was what went to immediately.
But my thing is, and no offense to the Texas dad, you honestly thought that you was going to win? Or you thought you had a chance?
That's the thing. They genuinely do. They genuinely think that if they just follow the rules and go through proper procedures, everyone's a rational adult here. Like, again, it's the same logic that makes people think that all these elections are fucking fair and they're not at all rigged and your vote matters. Like, they genuinely believe the fucking lie until they run into it themselves. And he probably fucking, chances are, I'm willing to bet that there were people in this man's life that told him, stop wasting your time with the court system.
Right.
She's got him. He's fucked. Take the kid and run. He was like, no. They'll see reason. Like, the judge is a reasonable person. They'll have to be reasonable. We'll talk this out. And now he's fucking shocked. Fucking shocked that he was wrong and that, this system is fucked.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. I'm like, why didn't you immediately? Because me, with the amount of knowledge that I have about the court system and stuff, and knowing that I'm going to lose, why didn't you just skedaddle, kick rocks, take your son with you, go overseas, get new identity, do what you got to do, but get him away from that evil, or get her away from that evil, whether it's a daughter or a son. Get him away.
Like, fucking, if you can't get on a fucking plane because they'd stop you, hop the fucking border. Escape to Mexico.
I didn't know he paid that much. Maximus said he paid over $1 million to lose.
Yeah. So like fucking $1 million. Like, imagine how far $1 million could have fucking gone if he'd taken that money out in fucking U.S. currency or bullion, grabbed the kid and booked it.
Oh, it would have went way far, amazingly far, stupid far. Oh yeah,
like he could be living a fucking ritzy ass life way off the beaten fucking path somewhere in South America with his kid right now.
Yeah, and does the kid need school at that moment? Not necessarily.
No, like,
No.
Fucking schooling is the last thing to be worrying about right now. That's the place where this fucking poison is prevalent.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if you go to South America, I'm like, fuck it, I can just teach it myself.
Yeah, like for fuck's sake, people need to stop treating fucking public school like it's something essential to survival.
No, I'm just saying, like that's gonna be the first thing that he's gonna be thinking about. Like, oh, I'm gonna teach my kid. I'm gonna do the first thing in this hypothetical scenario is, you know what? Fuck that. I can teach him how to hunt. I can teach him how to, you know, I don't know, grow food. You know, just
but that's the thing. Like he spent he probably fucking spent every goddamn dime he had, fed all these corrupt people by paying them all off, and now he's fucking broke and destitute. And now it will be even harder for him to get his kid away from him. So he had the option to grab the kid and run. Now HMT might be his only way out.
And okay, how you say that's the only fault that I put on the Texas dad. Like you said, he didn't act fast enough at all. And he put too much trust into this corrupt system.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, so this guy's going to have to be a fucking objective lesson, because this is going to happen again. There's going to be other men, and they're not going to have $1 million fucking dollars to blow on traitorous lawyers.
Well, yeah, like how much proof do you need that the system it was made, this gynocentric system was made specifically to work against you, the man? You know, but what about this person, that person? Once again, the exception does not make the rule. We operate on probability, not possibilities. But I don't know. I'll be called a jackass for even mentioning that, right? But all I'm saying is, I know personally, at least with my father, he would not hesitate. He wouldn't. You know, he will not hesitate to bite the bullet and serve time.
Yeah, and carry on. Forgetting the kid, like the dude has gone this far for his fucking kid. He ain't just gonna go like Omni-Man and start over.
There's no going back. At this, no. It's at least in my opinion, it's go big or go home.
Yeah, like he's at the point where his life is fucking irrelevant. You don't blow $1 million and then be like, well, I did everything I could. I guess I'll have to try again. No.
He blew $1 million. He lost his marriage. He lost his child.
Yeah. Like, quite frankly, if he does anything other than self-terminate in the future, it will show a pretty strong strength of will.
And you see, if you guys know how he looks, he's up there in age. So he doesn't even have that amount, enough time per se, compared to a youngin.
And he's broke too. Like he's fucking old. He's fucking broke. Like he doesn't have much to live for right now, and he doesn't really have the resources to start fresh.
Well, it's all up to him. It's all up to him, man, if he wants to move on, or go down swinging. Because I don't know. Once again, I don't have kids yet, but in my honest opinion, I lived an okay life. That's all I have to say. If when it comes to my kids, I lived an okay life. But my kids will not be castrated. And my kids will not be taken away from me. I'm sure you will agree, Gray.
Yeah, no, it's the duty of the parent to sacrifice for the kid.
Yes.
And if chat's saying like, well, it doesn't matter if he takes her out, CPS will do it anyway. Look, there's less of a chance of CPS doing it than there's the wife doing it. Right. So you may as well fucking give it a shot.
Yeah, because one thing is CPS, the other thing is the actual mother.
Like CPS might do it, the mother will do it.
Yep. And The
And even if CPS does eventually do it, it's going to take longer, and that's going to give the kid more time. Like, there is no benefit to leaving the kid with the mother.
agreed, because the public is going to encourage it, the courts are going to encourage it.
And
She
even
has,
if
up?
you lose in the end, at the very least, you tried fucking everything.
Right. And like I said before, chat, you know, if I ever have kids and if I was ever in this guy's situation, and let's say 9 years old, right? So I'll probably be in my, let's say I have a kid right now, I'll be in my late 30s. I say I lived an okay life. I lived a lot longer than most people, but I will go down swinging for my kids if I ever have kids. You know, and like what Gray said, you know, a lot of men, unfortunately, through decades of, you know, being shat on, being talked shit, you know, saying it's okay to be weak, it's okay to be emotional. There's not that many men left that are willing to go the distance like that. So I agree with Gray. I'm just saying, like, in my opinion, at least in the biological sense, I won if I ever have kids. And from now until the day that I die, my responsibility is make sure that they're able to be self-sufficient.
Yeah.
And that can't happen if a spiteful ex-wife is trying to dress them up as the opposite gender and chemically castrate them. That's a no-go. Sorry for the rant, but I'm very passionate about this. I really don't see this getting any better. I really don't.
Not until there's punishment. It's like, it's the same principle as all these people stop, like, not persecuting crime, and then the criminals act with impudence. It's like, if the criminals don't fear the cops, then they're going to have to start fearing the victims.
That's another thing. The long-term consequences of this crazy fiasco with the alphabet community. Oh, there's gonna be a lot of pissed off, in my opinion, at least pissed off teenagers. If they had to go through some bullshit that they didn't even agree to when they were 5, 6, 7 years old, and then when they become older and realize what actually happened, and they have no say, and there's no way for them to reverse the situation. Oh yeah, you're gonna have a lot of pissed off people. How you say, the sons and daughters of the alphabet community. Oh man, it's gonna backfire big time. Because once again, you'll be pissed off too if you found out that, let's say, for example, your mom believes that you should imitate Odin. So when you were 3 years old, she intentionally took you to a doctor to get one of your eyes ripped out. And then imagine when you're a teenager, then you start to question, like, why do I only have one eye? What happened to my eye? And then eventually, hopefully, you'll find out the truth of what really happened, that your mother is a crazed Norse mythology freak, and she believes that you're the second coming of Odin. That's why she ripped out one of your eyes. Wouldn't you be pissed off? That's an understatement. You lost sight in one of your eye sockets because of your mother's delusions or your father's delusions, either or. The weak fucking mangina sips. Just imagine that. Or you're missing a leg because your mom believed that you will be the next Captain Hook or the next Blackbeard. That's on par with what's going on with this current situation.
Or like your mom fucked up and ordered the wrong fireworks for the gender reveal party, so decided to correct the mistake in the operating room right after you came out.
Oh God. Woo! Like I'm just trying to paint the pictures of what I believe will be the main issue. There's going to be a lot of yeeting themselves and yeeting others among at least the trans community.
They already eat themselves in fucking stupid high numbers.
True, but with the normalization and the enabling of this situation to the point where now they're chemically castrating little kids.
Yeah, like let's be honest, I don't think I've heard of a trans person over the age of 60.
Agreed, exactly. So I can only speculate, but with the analogy I gave you guys, I can almost guarantee a lot of them are not going to be in a good mood once they realize what happened. Because they didn't even have a chance to even. They had no choice. So now they got something fake between their legs or whatever, and they got some foreign hormones in their system.
Now they can't even go to the bathroom without it hurting. Things
All
like
because
55% of post-op apparently can't use the bathroom or have relations without severe pain.
right, and it's all because your mom or your dad, usually part of the LGBT community, wanted to play dress up. Like you guys understand, the severity of the situation. Good luck to anybody that has children at the moment, young children, because now we got the state brainwashing the fuck out of the children in the schools and in the media, and like good luck to you guys.
At this point, I got no fucking sympathy for people who still have their kids in public school. Like one of my coworkers keeps saying, like, if my kid gets sick one more time, I'm taking him out of public school. It's like, motherfucker, no, you're not. You ain't,
No.
because it's fucking daycare for you.
Yeah,
like, and neither you nor your wife are willing to fucking quit your jobs and accept the lower standard of living. So, and you don't trust your kids to be on their own at home. So you're gonna keep using public school. Quit your fucking bitching.
Yeah, my uncle took his son out right away. His son is in 6th grade. And
Yeah,
when all this
that's the thing. That's
nonsense
good,
happened, he's like, whoop, you're out.
Yeah. No, that's the thing. Like, that's what I think parents should do, but they don't.
Yeah.
Because they don't trust their kids at home alone. Like, I don't know if I had kind of an unusual childhood or whatnot, but like by the time I was 11, like I was able to look after other people's kids. I'm pretty sure that by the age of 9, you could leave me alone in the house and trust me to not burn it down.
Yeah, I agree. Shit. A lot of the times, because like once again, the parents, at least with my parents, very, very busy at work. I'm chilling, either watching TV or playing video games. My dad's like, hey, I'll be back after work. Don't do anything stupid. I'm like, all right.
Fucking books, television, pen and paper, like, and I was back in like the fucking 90s. Nowadays, you can just fucking sit a kid down at home with like YouTube and shit. Like,
yeah.
I mean, if you're that concerned about them burning the house down, unplug the stove. Like, holy shit. Like, if you're worried about them using an appliance to set shit on fire, unplug it.
Yeah. Cook them food before you leave the house.
Oh, fuck, they can make fucking cereal. You can have fucking granola bars.
Well, okay. You talk about. I was just talking about dinner. My bad. I was in a different scenario.
Well, no, like, even dinner. Like, yeah, there's fucking pre-made stuff, or could put like some fucking McDonald's or something in the fridge, or whatever. Like, you can leave you should be able to leave like your fucking 9-year-old at home for the evening and trust them to not destroy the entire house.
I completely agree. At that age, they know what's right or wrong. They know what is expected of them.
But that's the thing. I'm seeing more and more today. Parents don't trust their kids with that shit. And I'm like, so does that say that your kids are so immature that you can't trust a 9-year-old? That a 9-year-old today is trusted less than a fucking 6-year-old 30 years ago? Or like, what's that saying? Is your kid fucking immature, or are you just a terrible parent? Which is it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Shit, what, are they too focused on their phone, or you just don't give a fuck? Or you just too afraid to discipline your child? Dude man says, ew, McDonald's in the fridge.
Yeah,
hey,
no,
a struggle meal. It is what it is. I had syrup sandwiches.
Well, like, if you can't trust your kid to not put tinfoil in the microwave and walk away from it, then yeah, they're gonna have to have something that you can eat cold.
Fucking man, hey, once you in that struggle life at times, eat cold food. Shit, I ain't straight out of the goddamn. I don't give a fuck.
Like, for fuck's sake, like chicken nuggets in a thermos. All right, like, if you can trust me to eat fucking chicken nuggets in a thermos at school, like, why can't you just make a couple extra and have a second thermos at home for dinner?
That's true. Yeah, that worked.
Like, if you can pack a kid a fucking school lunch and they'll eat that, then you can pack them something to fucking eat at home and just leave it on the counter in the pantry or whatever.
But I do agree with you saying, yeah.
Yeah, but if your 9-year-old needs 24/7 supervision, like, that's a problem with you as a parent not raising them properly.
Exactly. Because I'm telling you, even when my parents are gone, even when my father is at work or whatever, I'm still behaving like he's still in the house.
Yeah, because if you fuck shit up, you're gonna get in shit when they get back.
Exactly.
So you don't go fucking hog wild reckless as a kid, because just because they're not there to see you do the bloody thing doesn't mean that they're not gonna fucking punish you for fucking up while they're gone.
Yep. The only thing I'm allowed to do is mess with the TV and walk around. That's
dude,
it.
Man, what the fuck, 9-year-old? Like, if 9-year-olds today can't be chill at home, that's a problem with the parents.
Yep. Not the child.
My fucking 9-year-old self was. You could fucking sit me down at home and there was shit to do. Fucking. And this was without television, mind you.
Right.
Like there wasn't no fucking Cartoon Network when I was 9. Like, yeah, it existed, but I didn't have it.
There's some good ass books though.
Yeah.
My another example, my dad can just easily, hey, I'm going to the store, do your homework. Bam. For like an hour or two, because I already know that, my father, he's able to, he tends to detour, probably, oh, okay, let me go over here. Let me, stock up on this and that. I'm at the exact same place, finishing my homework, not moving the fucking. See, that's why I say that having a father in the household is beyond fucking important. It is so important. Because once again, even at 9 years old, would you really take your mom seriously per se? Not as much as your dad. Dad, that would be bad. If I got, because once again, even at 9 years old, the mom be like, hey, wait till your father gets home. I'm like, fuck, like, it's one thing I get a little, you shouldn't been doing this, you shouldn't be doing that. I'm like, okay, mom, okay, yeah, blah, blah, blah. But if it got to the point where like I'm calling your dad, oh man, I'm shitting bricks. Oh man, I'm like, please don't call them, please, I'll be good. Fathers are important, man. Oh shit.
And now
No.
carry on sending them outside. That's a different matter. Like where I am, like you don't send a fucking 9-year-old child outside unsupervised. If it's in town, half like unsupervised, like, you get back, where the fuck are they? Like if they ain't home when the adult gets back, where the fuck are they?
Even though they let me outside, my parents will still have an idea where I'm at. Like,
well, no, that's the thing. Is like letting them outside is one thing,
right?
But leaving them home alone outside.
Oh yeah, that'd be bad. Very like beyond bad.
No, you don't just fucking say like okay, like it'd be one. Like I'm not saying you have to worry about people quite as much. I'm thinking like where I am, you got to worry more about fucking wolves.
That, or at least a 9-year-old hurting himself or doing something stupid.
Yeah, like there's very few places where I would want to leave a 9-year-old, not just unattended outside is one thing because like been there, done that. It's more so there isn't an adult for them to go to if anything goes wrong.
And on top of that, you guys know what's going on in 2023. You know how many fucking weirdos are out there creeping about. I didn't have to worry about that when I was young. But if I had a 9-year-old right now, hell to the fucking no. And thank God we have smartphones today. Because I don't think my kid would be going anywhere at this point. If they didn't have any type of communications like a smartphone. Because there's some creepy motherfuckers. Like I showed you guys how creepy these people are getting. How evil these people are. Hell yeah, they will pounce at the opportunity of a 9-year-old walking alone around the block. Fuck that. It's not even don't talk to strangers. No, this stranger is going to chase after my 9-year-old child.
Yeah, like at this point, you basically got to be like, okay, you're 9 years old. I'm going to teach you how to use a knife, like right now.
Oh,
because
you're
there is a non-zero chance you're going to need to learn how to shank a bitch.
Exactly, and this that Eliza, whatever fucking name, that fucking predator. Oh, you're 9 years old. Okay, let me bring you to one of my communities. We're gonna go ahead and talk to this priest right quick. We're gonna do a little background check. Fuck that.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like, it's one thing to let them like outside when the kid knows where you are and can come running if shit goes wrong.
Right.
It's another thing to be like, yeah, I'm out of the house for the evening. Do whatever. Like, no, I'm out of the house for the evening. Don't leave the house.
I don't know what your name is, but he says only in Japan can children go walking around to the store to get groceries. Yeah, Japan is virtually like.
Okay, no. I'm sorry. No.
Wait, what
because Japan also has this handy fucking invention that little kids carry around. That when they pull it, it sets off a really wide alarm, and it's basically the equivalent of a rape alarm for kids.
Okay, pretty much. And they have a shit ton of CCTV cameras.
Yeah.
And on top of that.
So it ain't that Japan is like super fucking like, I'm sorry. Like there's kids going to the store to get groceries. No, that shit could happen in fucking Canada too, just fine. But that kind of anti-rape device, so far as I know, only exists in Japan. And it wouldn't exist unless there was a fucking need for it.
Japan lives in a completely different society than we do, okay? There's no comparison. There's none. Okay? Do they have guns in every corner? No, not Japan. Does the United States have cameras everywhere you go? Because in Asia, or the Asian part of the world, they're the ones that have the most CCTV cameras in the world. So it's very difficult, especially if you live in a city, to get away with shit. So of course it's going to be way easier for children to just go along and go to the store by themselves, because the criminals are be like, if I even breathe around people, I can get arrested. There's way more consequences over there in Japan than in the United States.
Yeah, like in Japan, like if there's an unusual pairing, like a significant age gap, then yeah, the cops will be called just to come and inspect. Like just to come and check up and make sure that everything's above board.
He says, I'm pretty sure the US has a lot of cameras nowadays if you're in the city. You'd be surprised how many blind spots are in the major cities. You'd be very surprised.
Like the security cameras are not on the street corners monitoring the streets. They're monitoring the businesses.
Exactly. Well, what about
Like,
the alleyways?
They ain't like that shit ain't out there for fucking public safety. That is out there to protect the interest of the business that holds the security cameras.
And plus, we're a big ass country. Do you know how expensive it's going to be to even be on par with Japan when it comes to CCTV cameras?
And there's population density on top of that. Like the population density of any city in North America does not compare to the population density of Japan.
Agreed. I think combined with Japan, Korea, I think one other country has a combined cameras of 6 million CCTV cameras. That's a lot of fucking cameras, you know, for a small country.
Yeah, no, and like Cyrus just pointed out, that he operated security cameras for 3 years. It's for companies to throw out lawsuits. Yeah, like those fucking dash cams catching people trying to commit insurance fraud by pretending that the car hit them. Like that's what the CC cameras are for: legal liability, not public safety.
Exactly. And like I said before, even if that was the case, you'll be very shocked on how many blind spots there are in the cities. Because once again, we don't have enough cameras to even cover the city.
Hell, like, and honestly, first thing that I do every time I walk into a store, I look for the immediate security cameras and get an idea for what the fuck they're looking at.
Lego my ego. He says, I shit you not, Japan has a lot of stalkers stalking people in their country, including South Korea. I agree. We have bad shit, insane
yanderes.
Yanderes are, yeah, I agree. One of my co-workers had to deal with it when I was in Japan. He literally had to deal with one of those girls that he tried to ghost, but he couldn't, and she got very obsessive with him. And eventually very like creepy, like threatening him.
Yeah, creepy, violent. Like IRL yanderes are no joke, guys. That shit happens.
No joke. Because they will do it if they feel they've been scorned.
Oh yeah, they'll fucking shank you. Like they'll fucking track you, isolate you, get up close to you, and then just charge at you and fucking shank you.
Yeah, what's it called? They're the epitome of if I can't have you, nobody can.
That's the yandere.
Like, or they'll pull some bullshit, break your ankles, and drag you to like a random, I don't know, barn or apartment, and you're trapped. They kidnapped you.
Yeah, or if they see you with another girl, then they'll go after
her. Pretty much, yes. I remember, we were at a restaurant, and another one of my coworkers, they were flirting with the waitress, and he's been going there at least twice a week to this restaurant to talk to this waitress. Eventually, when I went with him because it was Friday, Friday time, let's go, let's get fucked up. And I was trying to get some margaritas. He was talking to the waitress. All of a sudden, this random girl out of nowhere, like, who the fuck are you, bitch? Who the fuck are you? To a waitress. Yep. A waitress. In front of everybody. She didn't give a fuck. And then my coworker's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And she's like, you gonna choose this woman over me? You gonna choose her over me? Okay, I see how it is. And she like stormed out. I'm like, oh shit, bro, are you good? And then for at least 4 months, she was stalking the shit out of him.
That is like literally a yandere. Seriously, Yeet, if you don't clearly you don't watch enough anime if you don't know what they are, but like typically they're like long pink hair and they got fucking dead fish eyes.
I think I don't watch those type of anime, but I have an idea what you're talking about. I have an idea because I've seen it personally.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. Like, I'm pretty sure that if you saw that, if you'd probably just look them up, like if you look up like anime yanderes and you watch the clips, you'll probably start laughing because holy shit, that's exactly what they are.
Exactly. And once again, chat, anime, they tend to exaggerate a certain traits to the extreme. Okay, so the anime does not reflect real life to that extent. Okay, so
I don't know. You like
no, I'm saying that the yanderes aren't that extreme as, how do I explain it? Because a lot of people, they expect the these type of stalkers girls to, you know, be that crazy similar to them. Like, no, it's not that common, it's not that prevalent, or it's not that extreme as the anime wants to portray. It happens, but it's not that crazy. And if it does get that crazy, it's definitely not. It's rare. It's rare because I think of one anime this character just couldn't do shit. Like, he couldn't exist without her like permission. Like, it's weird. It's weird. I'll look up the name, but at the end of the day, they do exist, but they're not that crazy like in the anime.
Okay, honestly, what really surprises me, just weird anime tropes, so tangent, is the women who can't cook. And I'm not talking like the ones that, you know, like they fucking burn cereal or something, or they just don't know how. No, I mean the ones that fucking go all in and really try to cook, and they somehow make something that is incredibly disgusting and poisonous. But they think it's fine.
Oh,
like that always.
Okay, I think that's a
me.
different, because I'm thinking about something that's probably I should be okay.
Like they go to all the effort, they make a home cooked meal, and then they have some kind of like purple porridge leaking miasma with like tentacles and fish heads, and it's like, how did we get to this point?
Yeah, that is pretty funny, but I don't want to get too way off topic, even though it's pretty hilarious. What's it called? He says, "Yeah, this is kind of beyond your head." No. You never, in my opinion, I've dealt with these type of stalkers women personally, but what I'm saying is they're not as extreme as portrayed in the anime. But what's your overall thoughts on the normalization of just evil, atrocious, disgusting things?
Well, that's the thing. I'd want to point out the other angle that this is being done by, and that is it's not only being normalized by trying to make it more acceptable, but also by equating lesser crimes with more extreme ones. Like, we're getting to the point where these people are equating, like they're equating petite body types to CP. They're equating a man paying for a flight to human trafficking.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah. What the fuck?
Like, they're doing this, and they say that they're doing it to protect children or to protect vulnerable women or whatever, and all it's doing is they're essentially crying wolf. It's like saying that you're protecting the sheep by crying wolf.
You explained this before. Was it in Discord, or was it in a different stream where
Probably a different stream. I mentioned this a couple times, but it keeps coming up.
Where they will go so extreme to the point where, you know, people will, like you just said, people will just say, hey, you know, you looked at, how do I explain it?
You looked at a 22-year-old dressed up as a 28-year-old, but that person has a fucking flat chest and is short. Therefore, you're looking at CP.
Yeah. Yeah, those are the extremes that they're trying to get to that point. So whatever they do next wouldn't sound or look as bad.
Yeah.
So I definitely
That's the thing.
see.
Like they say they're doing it for protection, but all it does, because then there's like, oh, do that. Okay, well now we need to mass report this on Twitter, and that's essentially the equivalent of. It's like hearing someone play Call of Duty and then having everyone in town call 911 to say that there's a literal murder happening at this address.
Right.
Eventually you're going to get to the point where the phone lines are so tied up for all of these calls that the cops aren't going to be able to respond to actual murders.
Exactly. And on top of that, it's so like the situation would be so oversaturated. So when it actually does happen, they'd be like, they're probably playing Call of Duty again. You know,
Precisely.
like that. Yeah. So I do agree what you're saying, 100%.
So that's the other end of normalization. They're trying to make the crime more acceptable in the public eye by just getting more and more of this shit out there and then defending the people who back it to try to make it appear more publicly acceptable. And then on the other hand, they're also trying to take innocent shit and make it appear worse to dilute what the crime actually is.
And I do believe that shit will become completely widespread based on what's going on right now. Like very soon, it's going to be all over the place where, you know, there will be consistently move the goalposts. Like more and more of these mad people are going to show up. It's not going to end well.
Yeah,
for them.
It's going to be like the Me Too movement where we went from like actual assault and power dynamic coercion to, yeah, I regret that one night stand. Therefore, it's the same.
Yeah, it's chat. If you have kids, keep a close eye on them. Monitor their traffic if you on the internet if you're not doing it already. You know, because right now, at least in my opinion, your kids are the biggest target of the current agenda that's happening.
And they are, because like your kids are the most susceptible to being told what to do by authority.
Exactly. I honestly don't mind doing the part 2 of this because I didn't even get through everything yet. But at the moment, I think we talked way enough. And
yeah, we got a good 3 hours of content out of this, so that's a good stream length.
Yeah, and if there's anything that updates, we'll definitely let you know, because fucking predators like that Eliza chick needs to be called out, and those other 2 guys. I'm surprised they're not in jail yet. Oh wait, they're probably part of that community, alphabet community. Yeah. But it is your boy Sirius and the Grey Ghost. Hopefully you enjoyed this crazy ass fucking stream today. You know, because honestly, at the same time, I really hope that your blood was boiling. Hopefully you were shopping for a wood chipper because this was very, how you say, irritating to get through. It was very irritating because you already know people like this has no place in society. And right now they're trying to get to a point where these disgusting little fucks have a place. We can't let that happen. At least not on my watch. So on top of that, I enjoyed all you guys' participation as well. I've been paying attention to the chat very closely. And also, thank you for anybody that donated. If you still want to invest in your boy, if you feel like it, the link's on top of the chat. And it's time for me to go to the gym to, get my anger out. So we are out. Peace.
Peace out.